At 5.
New numbers coming out today related to sudden infant death syndrome, and the state of Minnesota is making an extra push to make sure you know how to keep your children safe while they sleep. And experts say it's as easy as ABC. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz has our story.
When it comes to baby sleep safety, just remember your ABCs. Babies should be alone, on their back, and in the crib. That's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. Governor Mark Dayton marks this week Infant Safe Sleep Week in Minnesota. Nurse Nicole Lean at Essentia Health adds,
no extra swaddles, no extra blankets, no extra toys.
Susan Castellano of the Minnesota Health Department says these tips can be life-saving.
We've done some new analysis of our sudden and unexpected infant deaths in Minnesota in 2015.
Out of 54 sleep-related deaths for infants in 2015, all but one were preventable. Of the deaths, more than 90% had loose objects like pillows and blankets in the crib. Nearly half the babies shared the sleeping space with another person, and almost a third were in an unsafe sleep position, like on their belly. A few more facts to keep in mind. Parents should tell safety info to babysitters and relatives.
We do see deaths happen when the parent knew everything to do, and unfortunately, the person caring for the baby at that moment did not.
And certain demographics are at a higher risk. The death rate for African American and American Indian babies is twice as high as for white infants.
Some people don't always have the opportunity to provide a healthy, safe sleep environment for their child.
So start with the ABCs and protect your child. Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Here in North Dakota, the numbers of sudden infant death syndrome are much lower, only 47 deaths in 5 years in the state, compared to 54 in the past year in Minnesota. Officials attribute that to a much lower birth rate in North Dakota than in Minnesota. And we've got more information on our website, valleynewslive.com. We're getting a repeat of the other day. Light snowfall, slippery roads, and when it happened the first time, lots of accidents around the region. Let's find out from Hutch where it's snowing and how long we need to worry about it. Hutch?
Andrea, I got to tell you, the snow is moving into the southern Red River Valley as we speak, and it's leaving behind another slippery layer of fresh snow. Some bitter cold air is going to follow this up as we head through the overnight hours. But we're already seeing some of that snow stick to area roads. We have a band heading into Grand Forks and Thompson and also the Northwood area right now. And we can see much of northwest Minnesota into southeast North Dakota seeing some of this snow. Things just getting started down near Wapit and Breckenridge, so not too bad yet there. But snow will continue as we go through the evening hours. It does look like it'll be exiting Grand Forks and the Devil's Lake Basin soon. The heaviest band in the dark blue moving in towards Otter Tail County by 6 to 7 o'clock. Then as we approach the 8 o'clock hour, it should be on its way out for most. We're setting up for a brutal night of weather. This road, Binford, covered completely with snowfall out there. Give yourself extra time to get where you're going. It looks like there'll be a severe lack of heat in the forecast for tomorrow. But I will tell you when the heat does arrive here in a few minutes.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. A little glimmer of hope.
I think so.
Thanks, Hutch. We're continuing to follow a developing story out of Minnesota. Another day of searching for two anglers has ended early because conditions are too dangerous. This is video from one of the search volunteers today. On Monday night, a boat with 3 commercial fishermen capsized in Red Lake. One swam to shore. The other 2 have not yet been found. Volunteers have taken their boats through icy waters as dive teams and airplanes circle the lake to try and find them before the lake is completely iced over. Emergency crews are on the scene of a crash involving a school bus in South Fargo. It happened around 4 p.m. at 62nd Avenue and 25th Street. Fargo police say that the bus and 2 other vehicles were involved, and only one driver had to be checked out for minor injuries on the scene. Police say no children were on the bus at the time of the crash. An Illinois man is in jail, and a 13-year-old Minnesota girl is back home and safe after she disappeared from her Bemidji area home earlier this week. The Beltrami County Sheriff's Office says 21-year-old Chris Morales of Oswego, Illinois, is being held on a criminal sexual conduct charge and also a charge of deprivation of custodial or parental rights. One of the girl's parents reported her missing Tuesday morning, telling officers she'd been acting strangely before she disappeared. A neighbor also saw someone standing in the woods 2 days earlier and had given police the license plate number and a description of the vehicle. That information led investigators to Minneapolis, where they found Morales and the girl. They believe she met him through social media and traveled with him to the Twin Cities. Morales is being held in the Beltrami County Jail. A National Transportation Safety Board report says witnesses told investigators a vintage airplane that crashed last summer was obviously in distress when it went down and killed the pilot near the Moorhead Airport. Mark Yagi of Breckenridge, the only person on board, died when the T-28 military training plane crashed on July 2nd. Yagi was flying from Fargo to Pelican Rapids when he asked air traffic controllers to be diverted to Moorhead. One witness said there was a terrible racket, like a gearbox or engine was failing. The plane struck a light pole near Interstate 94, a way station on the interstate, before crashing into a field. Each year in the U.S., 7.5 million people are stalked, and the North Dakota Safety Council wants people to know how to protect themselves in a dangerous situation. They're offering a self-protection course that teaches people how to recognize predators, learn how to stay out of dangerous situations, and practice techniques to escape an attacker.
The reality of it is it can happen to you, and it can happen anywhere. So when that presents itself, when that situation shows up and arrives, knocks on your door, it's important to be able to have at least mentally rehearsed what is it that I'm going to do, how can I protect myself, how can I protect the lives of my loved ones.
For more on the course and self-defense, look for this story on valleynewslive.com. And tomorrow on the Valley Today, Christy Larson will talk with school resource officers about what issues are happening in our schools. From protecting your body to protecting your personal information, former CEOs of Yahoo and Equifax brought apologies to Capitol Hill as they faced lawmakers to answer questions about the massive data breaches at their companies and what can be done to protect consumers' personal information. Weijia Jiang reports from Capitol Hill.
My experiences from Yahoo and
the former heads of Equifax and Yahoo apologized for the massive consumer data breaches that happened on their watch.
I want to sincerely apologize to each and every one of our users.
Apologize deeply to the American public for the breach that we had.
The Equifax breach exposed personal information of 145 million Americans earlier this year, and a hack against Yahoo in 2013 affected all of its 3 billion user accounts.
How do you really think that you could have protected yourself?
Even robust defenses and processes are not sufficient to protect against a state-sponsored attack.
But hackers exploited human and technological errors at Equifax, and lawmakers pressed the current CEO on new cybersecurity measures.
You spend 50% more today than you did before? Or
easily.
75, 100, 100, 200% more?
4 times more.
Lawmakers and all the witnesses agreed that protecting personal information online is a moving target.
We describe this as an arms race. Hackers become ever more sophisticated, and we have to become sophisticated in turn.
Panelists said Americans will need a new dynamic form of identification.
Social security numbers, a static identity is a basis for our online identities, will not be secure, is not secure, and will never be secure in the future.
There was consensus the industry and government should work together to come up with legislation for national data security. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Russian hackers made a 2014 strike against Yahoo, and in March, the U.S. government handed down criminal charges in that case. It's the first against Russian spies for cyber crimes. It's not yet known who is responsible for the 2013 Yahoo breach.